Broadcasting. And the first thing that is frustrating, I think, with periscoping is you see how I'm holding my phone. Periscope, if I turn it sideways, if you're watching it on the phone, you can turn your phone sideways to see it. But people who are sitting and watching it, because like I said, it shows up on the Twitter feed, if they click on it and they're now watching it on a computer, it's sideways on their computer. So unfortunately, it doesn't have that automatic, I turned it. That's something I hope they change. And Adam's walking in, and we're gonna show it. What's great about it is you can actually zoom in and zoom out with the video so people can see that. Also, Andrea, friend AMS, is she in here? No? She said, hello everyone. Lady Wolf says 2014, how? I'm guessing, Lady Wolf, that you're asking about how to zoom in. Just like you zoom in with the phone, you put your two fingers on and zoom in and out. So, and Andrea's saying, no, she's not here. So there are people right now who are in this session viewing what's happening. And so I don't know where they are, somewhere at home. They weren't able to attend today. But Andrea says she is in Kansas. So you can also have the chat. Now, with the chat feature, there are two different ways things, when you first sign up with the chatting, it's open to anyone who watches the video. So people are sitting and they can, like I said, on Twitter, they see that I'm periscoping so they can watch the video. It also opens up to anyone can chat so they can say things. People, of course, are going to be inappropriate. And so so people say inappropriate things. Now Periscope has made it to where if you want to chat on my Periscope, I have to follow you. So I do go in, if people follow me, I do an automatic follow back. That way, if I'm doing a session on Periscope and they want to talk, then they can see it. And so I can see their chat down at the bottom. Because with Periscope, once you get out of it, you can actually go back and review the video at a later time. And people can actually go watch your videos at a later time as well. Last week, there was a fire at a Vegas hotel. Did you guys see that? It was a pretty big fire at the pool that was on top of the hotel. Well, I saw it on Twitter that happened. So I actually went to Periscope to see if anyone periscoped about it, and sure enough, people did. So I could then watch the video, and it was actually people who were in a hotel higher up looking down on the fire. And so then I could actually see what was happening at that time. Tornadoes right now, people are periscoping tornadoes.
So how long do these videos stay then, like, before we can view them?
It stays on the app for 24 hours, but then after that, if you know someone's name, then you can go find them, go to periscope.tv, and you can go and see my, yes, Lady Wolf, actually someone just asked, can I view the broadcast after? Periscope.tv, and you can put in the person's handle or whatever, and you can see all of their videos that they've done. So if you put in my name at Mr. P_teacher, then you will see all the videos that I have periscoped.
And you can delete them as you...
Yes, you can delete as well. What's also great is right now I've been doing a lot of, it's all on double tap, then it actually flips the camera onto yourself. So then you can sit there and talk to people in this way as well. So that's when the selfie stick comes in handy, I think. And in fact, people have talked about recently how broadcasting and TV anchors or TV reporters is going to be changing, because no longer do they have to carry that bulky camera around. They could, and you're periscoping right now, right? You're following.
Yeah.
She's following. I heard myself, so I know she's actually on there right now. And so with the selfie stick, you can sit out there and you could have your kids do broadcasting right there and share out with their parents or different things about what they're doing at school, and say, hey, I'm sitting here with so-and-so and I want to do an interview. And so you just sit there and do that quick interview. And so people can see who you're talking to and things like that. And as I said, you can go back later on. And also, all these periscopes are automatically going to my files on my phone. And so I have the videos on my phone. And so with the Periscope, so I've done periscoping with my students and showing out popsicle sticks towers. We destroyed them, and I periscoped those videos so people could sit at home and watch. But then it went to my phone, so then I actually then posted it onto YouTube. So if I want, and I'm probably going to do this with Joy, she came in earlier, and she was talking to people on Twitter, and so, or talking about Twitter. I periscoped that, and so then I'm actually going to go and post that on my YouTube page as well, so then anybody can go and view that. It was a great thing. It's nothing, there is nothing bad. And just so you know, when you started giving out your phone number, I did stop the periscoping. Just so you know, I did stop it when that happened.
Well, you know, the staff, my director of communications, he said, "Oh, I was watching you on Periscope." So I was like, I've got to go to this class, because I'm like, how do you know how to do, what is going on? I don't know enough about this, so
Well,
I need to understand.
it's a live broadcasting, and so right now we are live. So anyone, I have it connected with my Twitter account, and so as soon as I posted and I said, what did I name? I can't remember. She's actually on the video, watching the video right now. So,
Okay.
but then again, because it's through that, there are not currently 9 people who are sitting and watching at this time.
Okay.
But once we stop the broadcast, people can then go and watch the video later. So if you want to go and watch the video.
That's the part that because I try at home and connect, and it's like, it's over. So how do you overcome
Are you on the computer doing it, or are you on the app
I'm
doing that?
on my phone, and I don't have the app.
Okay, you'll have, if you download the app,
Okay.
then it will actually just automatically open in the app, and it'll tell you this broadcast is ended,
Yes.
but do you want to watch it? And then you click play, and you can actually watch it from the start. The only thing is, I don't believe you can fast forward. You can't look at certain things that you want, and so you just kind of have to just sit there and watch the entire broadcast.
Okay.
But that might be something that's changing. And I'm sitting here. Lady Wolf 2014 has just shared on Twitter that this is actually happening. Did you hear that? There you go. The thing that is weird about it is, you know, I have to sit here constantly and be looking if people comment. And the comments do fly by really quick. And she said, "Hi, Vanessa," back. And so I do have to, they can't do talking back.
Okay.
Now Mrs. Beck, 25, is telling me I need to get a tripod. I do. Want to look at me? There we go. And so it's just a way, I don't know.
So
I'm rambling now.
As a teacher, you could actually record a lesson, I'm thinking like science experiment or activity, and then have it available for a parent or a child to watch later to review.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome.
Or if, let's say, you're doing a school assembly and you open it to parents to come, but the parents can't make it. Live broadcast it. And parents can sit at work and watch it, or they can watch it at a later time when they have a chance. And so it makes it to where if the parents know sort of like, and this is something that might take a little bit more planning, but let's say you have an order of who's going to be performing when, and you might have an about time, then you can say, hey, your child's going to be performing around this time, so we'll be periscoping so you can watch it at that point.
And so it's just the people who follow you who can see it. Is that right?
On the app, it will pop up, like everyone who follows me, they got a pop-up saying that I'm doing this. But if they follow me on Twitter or they see it on Twitter, they can actually then just see that I'm broadcasting right now. And so people can go click on the link on Twitter right now.
Okay.
And follow the link.
All right. Now, when I signed up, there was another option. It was sign in with Twitter or sign in another way. Maybe it was just email.
Yeah.
So I signed in through my email, so it's not popping up on my Twitter account.
Correct. It's not
because
connected to your Twitter
I didn't want my
account.
Twitter name to be the same.
Yeah.
So it's not going to pop up on my Twitter? So
Not unless
I'm
you
just
connect
wondering.
them.
Okay.
You have to connect them for that to happen. So in this case, no, it won't be broadcast. Only the people who follow you in the app will know
Be
that.
able to see it, so I
Well,
would know it.
anyone in the app can, since I'm trying to think if I have my location. I don't have my location set up. With Periscope, you can go and look and you'll see everyone who's periscoping right now in the world, and you can click on those links and you can actually watch whatever that is.
Okay.
And that's where we're going back to what Christy said. there are some people out there who are broadcasting things that don't need to be broadcast. And so but you can report them. So let's say you're seeing a video and you just want to see what's going on. You click on it and you find out it's not appropriate, you can report it. And so at that point, it could go and they'll end up blocking that person. They can't use it if they continue to do it all the time. So
you may have said this, and this is kind of part of this discussion. Can you make it private? Because kids, you know,
yes.
you gotta be careful.
Oh,
Yes.
The world doesn't need to see everything.
Correct.
You know.
And so that's something, they actually do have it set up now. Let's say I want to do a broadcast and I only want certain people to see it. You can click it as private and then you choose who's going to see it. And so no one else can see it except for those people. So let's say you're doing that science experiment and you want your students to see it. You can make it to where only those certain students will be able to see it. So you're sitting there, you have your class of 30 kids, but Johnny is sick today, but he follows you on Periscope. You can go and actually say, Johnny, you can watch this today. And you'd make it to where only he's able to see it. Or you can broadcast it to where anyone can see it. But like I said, with that, I have it set up to where not anybody can comment to me. I have to follow you in order to comment. And that's where I'm getting rid of all of those people who are saying inappropriate things.
Well, we were
So.
just thinking about,
Yeah, I was just thinking if
the
you.
we have a lot of
privacy.
parents who sign the thing that they don't want their kid's picture published in the
Yes,
newspaper.
uh-huh,
They don't want
right.
So we were thinking about how to.
Right, and that's where you can, and that's, if you have those students, just have a safe spot in your room and have that discussion with those students that, hey, when we're periscoping, you sit in this area of the room will not be periscoped. This area of the room won't be pictures, video doesn't happen in this area. Have that private conversation with those students, just so that they're aware of where that safe zone is at. And that would be something to talk with parents as well, saying, I do have that safe zone for the child to be in.
Okay, so you said someone shared it on Twitter. How did, I feel totally.
I don't know because I haven't done that. Lady Wolf 2014, could you help us with that? How did you share that I'm doing this on, oh, go ahead.
I can do it now because like you follow me, so as soon as I start periscoping on, you're gonna get a tweet from me like.
Well, but
within your
no,
stream.
someone, as I'm periscoping, it has shown up saying, Lady Wolf says click the share button. Apparently there's a share button. Is that in the app?
Yeah.
Swipe to the left, and then,
Well,
I love how
hit
they're swiping.
share, and it
Here.
says share on Twitter.
uh-huh.
Yes, Scott, come on over if you want.
But it didn't do it.
Okay, Lady Wolf says swipe
I just
up.
closed it. Sorry. Let me see.
See, and you guys, as a viewer, you're seeing different things than what I do. I can see, oh,
I haven't linked to my other Twitter.
you can
account.
even,
That's what it is.
you can even, if people are starting to be inappropriate in the chat, you can, as the person in charge, so if I wanted to right now, I could click stop. Mrs. Beck has now shared on Twitter. Andrea Friend AMS has shared on Twitter. Scott Hazelwood has us muted. Why? And so I guess that it's just that share button in the app to where you can then share on Twitter. So now what that's doing is they have shared that, hey, we're watching this broadcast on Periscope. So I guess it's going through multiple means, like it's showing up on their Twitter feed that I'm doing the Periscope on my Twitter feed, or I don't know, it could be how it shows.
Is that what you were doing earlier today?
During the Twitter session, I was sharing on Periscope when Joy was speaking, yes.
What about the opening? Were you?
Oh yes, during the opening I was doing the Periscoping as well.
Not just videoing, but going ahead and, but it will not save.
You can set it up, and I actually have it set up to save to my phone, and so then at that point I have the video saved to my phone.
It's kind of a 2-in-1.
Yeah, or you can turn that feature off and not have it go
Is there a
directly to your
delay?
phone.
Has anybody said, like if you're watching it live, like someone's with you?
There might be a little
There's
bit
a
of it.
little bit of it.
It depends on your Wi-Fi,
Okay.
on how that's going through. because sometimes I'll be watching a video and it kind of pauses, and that's because the connection isn't that great, but it'll pick up where it left off. So at that point, you're going to be delayed.
With ball games and
Uh-huh.
plays and things that they could chime in, and it could be live, but then you'd also have it saved.
Right.
You know, something you're wanting, graduation.
Right.
You know, things like
Right.
that.
You can do that. And that's something, that you have to be careful with Periscope, because now you're getting into copyright and different things like that. People are Periscoping concerts. So you go to this, you paid $200 to go to this concert to see Trace Adkins, and then you're sitting there Periscoping. That's doing video. That's illegal. You should not be doing things like that.
The first time I heard about Periscope was actually like the Pacquiao fight earlier in the spring. Like a lot of people, to get around pay-per-view, were Periscoping the fight.
Yeah, they were at home and Periscoping their TV, and people are sitting and watching on Periscope, and that's where things are getting iffy. The other thing is, it's great right now. We're at a conference to be able to, room number 3, Scott. To share out in conferences is great. This morning, because we're free here, I'm not worried about Periscoping, but a lot of people were Periscoping the keynote sessions at ISTE.
Yeah.
Oh, are you
Is
not supposed
that,
to do that?
I don't know.
There's
Because
a
people have
registration.
paid
Yeah.
to go to that conference, and then I'm sitting at home watching it for free.
Well, is there a time limit on Periscope?
No.
No?
Do you hear the audio as well?
Mm-hmm.
Is it but it's not like production quality?
It's not production quality, no.
But there was a discussion, I think yesterday, with like Perno Rep and the Weird Teacher and some other people who present a lot all over the place, and some of them do it as, they get paid as a consulting job, and they were talking about like, what do you do? Like, do you, if you see someone Periscoping, do you stop them? And I think they came to the consensus that like maybe before you Periscoped a session that was paid, you might want to ask the presenter first.
If you can, yeah. But if I don't feel bad, but like I said, for those who were here at the beginning, I said I'm about to Periscope, so this is going to be live, so that if you don't want to be in the video, then you can leave, or to make sure we're not saying anything wrong. When Joy first came in, I told her, hey, I'm going to Periscope, just so that she is aware, because think of you personally. Yeah, common courtesy. Do you want to be videoed? And so most people will probably say no, but if they're getting paid to speak, no.
Yeah, I think that's a real courtesy, especially if you're ever dealing with legislators or people who are, oftentimes they're aware that there's a time when you have a conversation and you're just listening, and maybe you're not thinking that you're talking to the media. And so because you want to shape sometimes what you're saying to a broader audience that doesn't have the background knowledge of the person you're sitting with. And so that's a nice courtesy, I think. It would probably really hurt a relationship if they found out later, that they weren't aware. So that's really, I would appreciate it.
Yeah. So any more on Periscope? Questions? I have used it in the classroom, and the way that I have used it, and this was when Periscope first started coming out and was really going big, and so it didn't know reactions. What I did was I put students around a table or on the floor, and whatever we were discussing, I put in the middle, and I only videoed that, to where the kids were not in the video, but what we were talking about and their voices were being heard, so that people could be sitting and hear the discussion, but they don't know who's talking. And I told my students, please be careful not to use each other's names, because we are live, we don't know who's watching, anything like that. But at that point, we could have that discussion, and people could hear it, but didn't see. So right now, I could just point at the ceiling and we continue the discussion, but people don't know who's talking, they just hear what's happening. So, and I think that could also be as a safety precaution as well. I guess if you are in a situation where you're not sure what's going to happen and you want to keep yourself, safe in case someone wants to say you did something wrong or said something wrong, you don't have to have the video, but if you have the sound just going, and I will say I have done that before. I had a situation where I had a student, I didn't Periscope it because that makes it live, but I just turned I turned the video on my phone one time, and I just left my phone sitting, and I had that discussion with the student because I felt, the student may take this and run with saying I did something inappropriate, but I just had it going so that if that did happen, I could go back later and be like, no, I have proof right here of that conversation. So that's out of the Periscope zone, but then too.
Well, I think that this could also be a great tool for modeling for students. This is appropriate use of technology. This is appropriate use of, publishing and being respectful, rather than just closing the gate on them. This is the way that you do it, and that you teach them those what seem to adults like common sense, polite things to do. The kids sometimes have to see you do it.
Well, and because a lot of adults don't know that common sense. We say it's common sense, you're not going to post something like that, but you see parents do it all the time. It's teaching that digital citizenship because, of course, people are going to do the wrong thing, but teach them how not to.
I think that's where we get some of our policy confuzzled, is by so severely limiting everything that teachers should be. I mean, you're asking us to teach your kids, so we're already a role model. We're already a role model, so let us role model further, because this is something that can get them out of trouble later. Like if they understand appropriateness because I'm demonstrating it in my class, I mean, why is that bad?
I don't know what time it is though.
Do you want to enable notifications? Does that mean anything?
What that does is when you're following someone, so people who will follow me, as soon as I start to broadcast, it's going to pop up on your phone that so-and-so's broadcasting. And I will say I have, it pops up all the time when people are doing different things. And you'll see some of the videos and the person's like, oh, I'm walking down the stairs. And you're like, okay, they're bored. They just, they're having fun.
I'm not in case you fall.
Yeah. But then some people will be like, they'll share that I'm having a conversation. I'm sitting down having a conversation with so-and-so. I won't lie. I'm sure there were people who jumped on the Periscope earlier when I said Joy for OK is talking about Twitter. People are like, oh, Joy, I want to follow. They're going to watch it just because of who I said was in it. And so that's...
What does this mean?
That right there, you're looking at the world, and all of those dots are people who are currently periscoping. They are live right now. I don't have my location on, and so it's probably not showing up on there.
That is, you need to share where you're at so we can follow the awesome juice that you are. So,
I don't want people to always know where I'm at.
I want to know where you're at.
But you already know because
Turn it on.
I said, yeah, you can turn it on and off. But at the same time, in my tweet or at my broadcast, it says I'm at #EdCampEOC, so you already know where I'm
I'm
at.
enabling my location right now.
All right.
I like the discovery with the locations, because I know when I was at I went to Pottstock in Kansas, and like I was finding people with locations, so I could kind of see too what was going on in the other rooms, and I could kind of see like, oh, I'm gonna get up and leave now because there's something really awesome going on outside. Okay, and I can go.
Or what I like about it is sometimes it helps you see the wonders around you that you didn't know about. I have looked at periscopes of people in a museum in New York City. Again, looking at, not sure if that was legal, but I was sitting and watching it. I also did another one where watched when someone was at the where Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial in Washington, D.C. I've never been there, but it was fun to watch. I've actually seen 4 or 5 different periscopes of that same location. So it's just kind of fun to look at the different stuff, what's around you.
I have a question.
Yep.
So if someone wants to, let's say a parent, you're a teacher, wants to follow you, do you suggest they follow you through Periscope? Is that possible, or just Twitter? would be better, because a lot will not have Twitter accounts
Right.
possibly.
In that case, I would say Periscope. Follow me on Periscope.
Get the app.
Get the app and follow me on Periscope. And that is the weird thing, is that if you are the one broadcasting, you can't type. You can, so when people, and this is where, like, in a keynote, people were periscoping during the keynote of Engage OK, and people were responding, and you're sitting there watching, and you're like, oh, yes, that's really what happened. So you're like whispering into it because you can't type back to them. You know, it's this big, huge convention center, very quiet, and you're whispering into your phone to someone, and it's a little weird. And so I think that's something that people have commented to Periscope saying, I wish I could type back. But at the same time, how do you type? You know, you're going to sit there typing, and the video suddenly becomes blurry. So I don't know how that could work, but it's...
So directions would be to download Periscope app, follow.
I would say follow that
whoever,
way.
And then the teacher, whatever. Then that you don't have to get the Twitter involved, or have to have a Twitter account if they don't.
But I have a class Twitter account, and so I'm probably going to set up a Periscope for that account as well.
Right.
And so then they can follow that Twitter account, and then when I Periscope from it, then it's coming from there.
Right.
So how do you do the little heart you see floating or something?
You just tap it,
Oh, that's
and you have a heart. Yeah, you just tap it, and you have the heart.
like,
Oh, hey, this could be fun. And then we're gonna spin. Woo!
And everybody wants.
All right, well that was fun.
So after you enable the camera.
oh, there's a little heart.
So I don't know if anybody knows Toby Brown, but we periscoped him receiving his PhD. Like, so that was really fun because when they opened the door and they're like, Dr. Brown, the little heart meter, somebody was.
And I was somewhere and I couldn't watch it. Where was it? That was during, and that was during Engage, and so I couldn't watch it. And I think it was actually during the Periscope session of Engage that you got that all that was happening.
You should have. That would have been a perfect example of Periscope.
Well, cool. So
I know that I've seen too some people do it more commercially where they do giveaways on Periscope. So like they would do like an unboxing and then a giveaway. I'm not really sure how you could apply that to education, but I'm sure there could be a way, like maybe if you were doing extra credit, like or like maybe something with badges, like if you do this, you know, at the end everybody who's participated in the Periscope will give something away, or you know, here's some extended like resources.
Well, you could almost say, you know, tonight your homework assignment is to go home and do such and such, do 25 jumping jacks, but you have to Periscope it to show you actually did it, you know, and so at that point you can sit and watch it live. So if you sit and watch your students live, or the students can then watch each other as well and say, oh no, you only did 24, I counted, you have one more to do. And so I mean, it'd be a fun way to do that.
We were at NAESP 15 in Long Beach, and Eric Wall he does art drops. He's an artist, and he does art drops through Periscope now. So that might be something too. He does not sell his art for money at all. He gives it away, whatever he creates, and he does it through art drops. He takes it somewhere, leaves it, and then gives clues on Periscope. So you might be able to do something at your school with that.
Different ways.
And I know I was thinking of using it. I'm in a small rural community, so we're, I left the house at 5:30 to be here in the city. So I was thinking maybe I could use it, flip it around, and let my teacher follow me. And if I'm somewhere,
you can live broadcast.
The students can, or I can purposefully be somewhere, a hospital, or you know, and the students could interview.
Well, and I've seen
see the chief of staff at
mystery Skyping. Mystery Skyping could go to mystery Periscope.
Right.
You know, the person could sit there
That's
and
just a
not be
great
on the
suggestion.
video at first. Don't be on the video at first, but just kind of be talking about where you are. The kids can ask questions, try to figure that out. And then say, now, can you figure out who I am? Or it could be, I am, can you figure out where I am? I'm your teacher. Where am I?
Yeah.
And you're just, see if they can figure it out. You give them clues, both visual and verbal,
Right.
and see if they can respond.
I really like this idea too, because I go to a lot of PD, and unfortunately some of it I have to miss school for, and my kids sometimes hear about it and they're like, I wanted to go to that. Why couldn't we go to the play date with you? And so that might be a good kind of way to, I could even show them, here are all the toys. What should I go play with? What do you want me to bring back?
And
to
give them the control. What do you want me to play with? And then let them watch you play with it and things like that.
That would be cool.
Definitely. Well, I think we have reached the time. For the 10 people who are watching, I apologize. It's going to end soon. I hope you enjoyed this session. Would anyone argue if I put this video on my YouTube page?
Yeah, I don't like my face in public.
He's the one who said this, zooming in.
Don't put it on social media. Never put selfies on social media ever.
So, and goodbye. Thanks for joining.
I like